The Backstage view has standard features for managing files like New, Open, Save, Save As, Print, and Close. But you can do a lot more with it than that. When you first launch Project, you get recent projects on the left side of the screen. So if you want to open one, you can just click it. But on the right side of the screen, you see icons for creating new projects in different ways, like creating a blank project or a new one from an Excel workbook. If you don't see the project you want in the Recent Projects list, you can click Open Other Projects. That'll let you browse through projects and even browse your entire computer to find the files that you want to open. So in the list of recent projects, if you point at a project that you want, you'll see that there's this push pin on the right side. Well, if you're working on a project for months, you want that project to always stay on this recent projects list. So the way you do that is to click the push pin. When it turns to vertical, that keeps it pinned to the top of this recent projects list. So if you want to open a project, just click it in the list, and it opens to the Task tab. But we're going to go back to the File tab because we want to see a few more things about the Backstage. So when a project is open and you go to the Backstage view, the first thing you see is the Info page. That provides some information about your project, like the start date and finish date, things like that. There's also a button for the Organizer. The Organizer is a feature that Project uses to store things like views, reports, tables, all sorts of things that you might customize in your project. The New command takes you to the New page, and that gives you a lot of options for creating new files. You can do things like open, save, save as. There's also the account information, and that tells you information about your installation of Project, but also the account that you use to sign in. And you can see that you can choose an Office theme, and your account will remember that and show it every time you go in. If you didn't have a Microsoft account when you installed your software, that's part of the setup. You can also set options for Project to tell it how you want it to behave. In this case, there are actually a couple of options we're going to look at for the Backstage view. So when you click Options, the Project Options dialog box opens. In this case, I'm going to go to the Advanced category and then scroll down to Display. You can see that the first setting in the Display section is Show this number of recent projects. It's set to 25, which is probably plenty, but if you want it to be a shorter list, you can change that number. The other thing you might want to set is to turn on this checkbox for quickly access this number of recent projects. And let me show you why. When I go back to the Backstage view, now at the bottom of the command list on the left-hand side, you'll see up to 4 of your recent projects. And that's probably the fastest way to reopen a project that you've worked on recently. So that's the Backstage view. You can set options or print views and reports. Just use the File tab to get there and start managing your files.